is the Canucks Conversation. High above Rogers Arena, I should say. This is the Canucks Conversation. Right off the top, I want to get this in, Chris, as you have a Costco hot dog and a Monster energy drink today. I want to quickly get this in. First of all, this is my last show before Christmas, before we're back. Our posting schedule, just so the great people know when we'll be back. We're obviously taking Christmas Eve, Christmas Day off. We're going to be off on the 26th. We're also going to be off on the Tuesday, the 27th of December. San Jose at Vancouver, that game. We'll have full coverage of it on Canucks Army. All that'll be normal. No show that day, but we will be back on the 28th, 29th, and 30th of December, the Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
Taking a day.
Next week.
Taking an extra day.
We are.
Boxing Day, you have to take. 27th, we're like, hey, there's not going to be anything. Canucks don't play till the day after.
Yeah. And we'll do an emergency
Juniors.
show, roster freeze, right? We'll do an emergency show if something happens. But let's see this team actually do something before we commit to having a show. So we'll do those 3 days.
Sam's already pissed in the chat. Yeah.
And then the day after New Year's Day, we'll also be taking off. So we'll be back on the 3rd. New York Islanders are in
I'll
Vancouver.
still be at morning skate. I'll still have it'll all be covered at Canucks Army.
Yeah, exactly. We'll still have everything up. It'll still be all good over at CanucksArmy.com. Speaking of which, right now you have scenes for morning skate out, and let's get right into it, Chris. Let's waste no time at all. We'll get into some non-hockey stuff later on, but let's get into it right now. Tonight, who's in town tonight? Seattle. Wow, I know. Seattle. I don't know why I had that little brain fart there. I feel foggy today. I came in and I wasn't feeling good. The SkyTrain's all messed up. Have you had your
espresso today or no?
I did. I had an espresso.
Yeah, you got a mood like you haven't had your espresso today. It's like a child when they don't have their nap. You're the same way when you don't have your espresso in the morning.
Exactly. That's like you and your girlfriend isn't home for 3 days.
Well, yeah, but I'm feeling a lot better today.
I know. Yeah, she's home.
But if I'm being honest, so I picked up my fiance last night. Mm-hmm. You called her my girlfriend. Get out of town.
Oh, did I? Excuse me.
Yeah,
sorry.
My fiance picked her up last night at the airport at about 2:30 in the morning, and I was up. Then we came back. We opened up a couple Christmas presents because it was nice to see each other. So we opened up a couple. I bought a lot of little Christmas presents, and then one really big one, and then two pretty big ones as well. But mostly little ones. So I'm just letting her open like little ones every day. A couple little ones every day. It's 12 days of Christmas. So we opened up a couple of those, and then get to bed. It's like 3:30 in the morning. So I wake up and I'm still waiting on it. The big bosses and all them at Nation Network, they haven't sent my video back, my pre-approved video. Maybe they didn't approve it, but I look like a zombie.
In your Betway video?
In my Betway video, because I'm on like a few hours of sleep. I straight up got up because I had to hit our time. I have to have it in by like 9 o'clock in the morning. So I had that thing sent off. I look like a zombie whenever that's up on Canucks Army. Like I've been a goblin for the past few days. Today I'm a zombie. But no, I'm feeling good today. I got some energy today, so it's good. I'll carry you.
Yeah, you did some streaming last night.
That was really fun.
Is this why my light is all messed up?
Yeah, I
was so confused.
You know what? I fixed your light too. I was using it yesterday. It didn't turn off the whole time for me. An hour and a half. I used it. It didn't turn off because what you do is
somewhere else.
No, you just don't crank it up to max. You just keep it on. Like you take it down a couple levels and
I need it on max or my face isn't illuminated.
Okay, well your call.
Well,
you're working on it now.
Bad. Yeah, it's not that bad. Okay, enough. Let's get into this quickly here. You were at morning skate today.
Yep.
Petey's back.
Yeah, he is.
We think sure tomorrow is what Bruce Boudreau said. And again, don't want to date ourselves too much.
Before we get too deep into this, I'm wondering if I should get this hot dog out of here. This is a small room, and these are smelly pieces. Like, I don't know if the scent's getting over there yet.
I can, and I haven't eaten lunch.
I don't hate the smell of it. So I'm just saying, like, this small room is going to be very hot dog full with the smell in a little bit here.
I would love to have some of that hot dog. I'm not going to lie to you. I haven't had lunch yet, but you can just...
No, I'm happy with the hot dog, but listen, a hot dog's a hot dog, but my fiance got me the regular one instead of a Polish one, and I'm not going to be too picky about it.
They make... What? Is there a difference?
The Polish dog's better.
Costco only sold the Polish dog.
No.
Is the Polish one more expensive?
No, they're both the same, but there's a regular hot dog and a Polish one.
What?
And I haven't had a regular one in years. I've been a Polish guy for years.
I'll take it off your hands if you don't want it.
No, I'm going to have it. Don't worry about that. But
okay.
It is going to start to smell up.
Sam Wilson jumped in the chat and said, Lady in the Trampet. That's on the Canucks Convo Patreon.
Sam's gonna be on the Cody band list pretty soon, coming at us today here.
That'll be on the Canucks Convo
Glizzy
Patreon.
season. Let's go.
Yeah.
All right. Let's get into it. I think Alex is here. He's wrapping up his Sen show. He loves that show over there. Him and Alex and his Senators. Let's pull up the lines here if we got him, Alex. From today. Different look. Obviously, I think there's a few things we can kind of dive into. The big one right off the bat is Elias Pettersson, and you talked about it. Bruce Boudreau said that he is a game time decision tonight, but definitely tomorrow. He said for sure was the exact quote about Pettersson getting back into the lineup tomorrow. So that's good. It was great to see him back on the ice. Great to see him smiling. And it is, it's obviously a huge thing for this team. I actually joked about it with Lane Peterson, kind of chatting a little bit after practice today. I said, it must be tough. I said, is it harder or easier for Kuzmenko? Because now he's got two Peteys on his line. Yeah. And he said, I'm going by Laner tonight. So it's funny to hear them just adjust their nicknames. But Lane Peterson has switched from Petey to Laner for his nickname. There's your big news story of the day. But the lines here, a lot to take away. I think we can kind of start with what's going on down the middle here. And this is all, we're going to kind of talk about this because I expect Pettersson to play tonight. Like, he sounded like he was pretty excited to get back. Didn't sound like he was kind of battling too much of a cold anymore. So like he was skating around. I don't think there's any worries about what we saw in morning skate from him today. I am expecting him to play. Like they talked about conditioning being a problem. That's tough too, like coming off of the sickness and going right into back-to-backs. That's definitely a tough situation to be put into for Pettersson, but I'm expecting him to play is what I'm saying. And I think the way that we saw the lines come out and skate today, we saw Horvat and Miller and Pettersson down the middle. So 3 C's, kind of the big name guys, the big money makers on this team playing down the middle. And it is an interesting spot because we've seen Miller have his struggles down the middle. But in this situation, is it kind of, you use Horvat and Miller to kind of shield Pettersson a little bit if he is back in the lineup, still battling a sickness. It's going to be, he says he's feeling a lot better. Didn't want to get into specifics about what he was dealing with, but he's feeling a lot better. It felt great to get back with the guys anyways today. So I'm expecting to see him tonight, and he's going to be hopefully skating on line with Lane Peterson and Andrei Kuzmenko back together. And I found it interesting that Kuzmenko was back on the right side as well. You know
what I find really interesting, Chris? Ethan Bear.
Yeah.
Looks like he's going to be a healthy scratch. This is just weird. Like, Riley Stillman in the lineup, Kyle Burroughs in the lineup. You like Burroughs in that spot, sure. Hugh Shen, OEL Myers. That's your defense core tonight. Like, we've talked about Ethan Bear as being probably a top 2 defenseman on this team, and he's not in the lineup. If the Canucks win tonight against a team that they've never lost in regulation to, am I correct about that?
Yep.
In the Seattle Kraken, hey, if they turn it around after some pretty bad home performances, I guess, sure, like it worked. But I don't know if scratching Ethan Bear is the right move to help get this team going. And it just kind of highlights what seems like a disconnect from, management and the coaching staff. And obviously there's some sort of rift. You hear Jim Rutherford talking about Bruce Boudreau, and I know everybody keeps referencing this interview that's now almost 2 months old, it feels like. But, you look at the situation and you see, okay, why is Ethan Bear scratched when, there's a report earlier this week that the Canucks would like to extend Ethan Bear. Like, they'd like to sign him to an extension. They've been impressed with them. Like, and I think Bruce Boudreau's been impressed with them too, to an extent, right?
I mean, how could you not be with what he's been able to do?
I'm
it's
sure
not like he's blown the doors off the place, but he's been steady.
Yeah.
And how nice is it to have something steady on the back end? I mean, last week, this dude's playing on your top pairing with Quinn Hughes.
Yeah.
And he's a type of defenseman that looks like, that was kind of a trial thing, and it was to see how it worked. And it was, there's some positive results. There's some negative results too, for sure. But he's a player who's like been able to fit with Oliver Ekman-Larsson, which is a rare thing to kind of find someone that can, play with OEL and not look like a very slow pairing, which we've seen a little bit with some partners in OEL. And the other thing is, like, maybe he even plays on a third pairing fine with Kyle Burroughs or Riley Stillman, whoever want to use there. It is a little shocking. I think that Bear, since he's joined the Canucks, has been the second best defenseman in my eyes at moving the puck, at taking away space in the defensive zone and not being out of position. I'm very surprised by this one for sure.
Yeah, exactly. And again, like you just brought it up, that he's been steady, right? Like he's been steady.
Yeah, and I'm curious to see our poll question a little bit later too, because that's what we got in the poll question. So we'll get to the Bear stuff in a little bit. But I did want to hear from Bruce Boudreau, because I know we got Alex here. He's busting out graphics now. So let's hear from Bruce Boudreau talking about the 3 centers down the middle, because he's got, like we said, Bo Horvat, JT Miller, and Elias Pettersson. If that's what we see tonight, it is interesting to see because listen, that's a strong center group down the middle, and Bruce Boudreau talked about that. Let's hear what Boudreau had to say about those three players playing center for the Canucks.
If Elias is back, looks like do you want to run with the Horvat-Miller-Pettersson down the middle? Is that something? Because you talked about that early in the season, but you wanted to build Miller up a little bit.
Well, I mean, I think if you had your druthers, I mean, those three centermen would make you as good up the middle as most teams in the National Hockey League, but it sort of weakens your wingers. So, I mean, we have to do what we can do to field the best team and put them in the best positions to succeed. So if that's the case, then we'll do it. But if we have to load up two lines, then we'll do that as well.
I think starting with the three centers and you can adjust from there isn't the worst idea tonight. Like, I don't think it's the worst idea tonight. You can adjust it a little bit if you need to. If you need to move Miller up and then kind of just shift some of your lines around, like, you can do that. I also think you want to be interested to see how Pettersson looks in the first period.
Odds the Canucks have to go with Miller at the wing by the second period tonight.
I actually don't think. I think like minus 200. Or no, plus 200.
Plus 200.
Betway.
Wow. I would agree with you that it's minus. Like,
I'm going to say plus 200.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see.
I don't think they're going to go back to it right in the second period.
Okay.
But the other thing, like, about this Kraken team, so Kraken just won their last two games. Who did the Kraken play their last two games, Quads? I love asking you questions that you don't know the answer.
I know the answer because I read your scenes from Morning Skate over at CanucksArmy.com, and they played and won against the two teams that thumped, as you put it, the Canucks at home by 2 scores of 5-1.
Right. So they beat the Jets, they beat the Blues. Those two teams just came in and beat Vancouver 5-1. So after a few losses for the Kraken, after having a pretty slow
wins
stretch
for
of
the Krakens.
No, but before that, a few losses for this team. After having a really good start, they had like a little bit of a down stretch there, but they picked up 2 wins against 2 teams that came in here and beat the wheels off the Canucks. So this could be a tough look for the Canucks, but we brought up the graphic earlier. The Canucks are 5-0. And I talked about it with Pettersson today. Like, he likes building this rivalry. It's new, but he also said, like, he remembers every game that he's playing against this team. And, maybe you remember wins easier than you do with losses, but it's fun to watch these two teams play. I don't know. I haven't checked the chat. I don't know if Lisa's in here. I know Lisa is a big fan of this one for sure. So either way, I think you're going to see a lot of goals in this one. Specifically the way that the Canucks have been giving up goals, but also scoring goals. And with Seattle, 3rd in the league right now at shot suppression. So they're doing a really good job of, keeping the puck outside, blocking shots, doing all that things. Defensively, this is what the Seattle Kraken are doing well this season, is not allowing shots because their goaltending hasn't been great. So they've been doing a pretty good job of keeping pucks away from their goaltenders. And it'll be interesting to see how that matches up with the Canucks offense, which, can be potent at times. It can be non-existent at times. So I don't know what we're going to get tonight, but they have came out and shown well against the Kraken in their 5 games so far, in the existence, I guess you could say, of the Seattle Kraken. Before we get to the poll question, which is about Ethan Bear, I do want to bring up the Pettersson stuff from the World Juniors because that was kind of fun today. Actually, first, Spencer Martin, projected starter tonight. First off the ice, obviously, Colin Delia played last night in Abbotsford. And listen, we'll get to Abbotsford later. This show is now, becoming an Abbotsford Canucks conversation because they are so much fun. I'm having fun, okay? Having fun watching that Abbotsford team play. So we're going to get to that. But yeah, Spencer Martin, projected starter for tonight. I want to hear this audio. This was a lot of fun. I asked Pettersson about the World Juniors starting up and Elias Pettersson, DPD, about him if he was his favorite player of the World Juniors. So let's hear that. Pettersson, Petey talking about Pettersson. Let's hear from Pettersson today.
And Sweden's getting going in the World Juniors in a couple days here. Elias Pettersson is also playing in that term. You could be watching.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'll be rooting a little bit more for him. So it's it's good. I mean, I'll try to watch a few games and see how they do.
I think he said that you are his favorite NHL player.
Really?
Is he your favorite player of the World Juniors?
Yeah, hey man, Läckermäki.
Petey knows the Swedes, eh?
That's right.
No, I think it's cool to hear that. I mean, it's funny. I was trying to have some fun with Pettersson today.
He's fun to have fun with.
Yeah, if you get him in the right mood, and today was nice. He's back on the ice, and like you could just see, like, throughout the practice, he's smiling, he's going around, he's having fun, he's screwing around with guys. Like, he really liked being back on the ice tonight. I know it's. Listen,
He's never been short with me before.
No?
No, never.
Well,
Like,
he's
I've never
6'2",
gotten
yeah.
bad answers out of him.
No.
But I also don't go as often as you guys do.
Actually really, I find that he is short with some people, but I've also felt the same way as well. Like this season, I've really enjoyed actually asking questions, and I really enjoy when he says, "That's a great question." He's said that to me a few times.
I think people have an added amount of respect for you in particular, like especially Patrick Alvin. We were like, so Philip Johansson played 13 minutes last night. And
Yeah,
he's
well,
like, sorry, why are you watching our prospects?
Yeah. No, I think with Alvin, next time we get him, I'm asking about Phil Johansson again, just because like keep that bit going.
Yeah, because
it's more of a bit than anything.
Everybody's like, what about the current team? And you're like, so this guy, Philip Johansson. Let's talk about him.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, he brought up Phil. He name dropped him. I asked him about it.
It was just funny.
But then the way that it went was like I asked him if there's any defenseman coming. He brought up Phil Johansson. Then I think I followed up because I was like, yeah, he played 22 minutes the other night. He's like, damn.
I remember someone responded to that media avail and said, best part of this media avail is Alvin nodding like he actually knows how many minutes Johansson played last night when Faber asked him about it.
All right, well, we know how many minutes Ethan Bear is going to play tonight.
Yeah, so
0.
with that,
let's get to the poll question.
Let's get to our poll question, brought to you by the great folks over at Atlas Goods. Go to atlasgds.com, use promo code CC15. That will get you 15% off your first order of pop rinds. You've heard us talk about them before, folks. They are the best fresh pork rinds.
Oh, look at that.
Straight out of your microwave or air fryer, locally owned and operated. Use promo code CC15 at atlasgds.com and get you 15% off your order at Atlas Goods.
See, and that's a good thing. You got the DoorDash deal, whatever that is. You got 25% off of Beat Our deal all the time. But over here at Atlas, I can see it right now. Subscribe, get 10%. Yeah, that's great. That's great. 10% first. Or you use our promo code, 15%. Let's go, Alex. Zoom it in. More pork rinds.
Free
and I'll
shipping.
tell you what, I have not heard anyone that's actually gone out and bought the pork. Whoa, easy, Alex. He's got a trigger finger. But I haven't heard anybody get the pork rinds, actually order them, and not like them. We got to send a pack over to Alex, too, because I know Alex wants to get on these.
And as you see there, the bacon ones right now sold out. So fear not, folks, because you can get the original and you put your popcorn seasoning, your favorite popcorn seasoning on it, and it's delicious little snack. Free shipping on all orders over $50. Go check out atlasgoods.com. Our poll question today, if you were in charge, which defenseman would you sit tonight? Oliver Ekman-Larsson, Riley Stillman, Ethan Bear, and as always, I'm angry. And people always ask me, why do you guys always put I'm angry? We did in our first poll question, and then the Canucks kind of just kept going on a skid.
Oh, what's Alex
and people asked us to keep I'm angry in and never get rid of it, so I'm angry is always an option in our poll question.
If you're a Canucks fan, it's always an option.
That's right. They're always angry, so it's an option. If you're angry,
let's see where Alex is going.
And you
Alex
don't want to do it.
is a man of the people. He always nails what people are saying. I'm curious if he's going to get with the people.
Well, I mean, he's hovering over Riley Stillman, so I'm pretty sure he's got a good chance.
Alex
here.
plays us sometimes with that little mouse clicker. I know.
So let's see what Alex votes with as he does that.
I have a quick, a vote for Oliver Ekman-Larsson here. Is that not the same as a vote for I'm angry?
You know what? A vote for anything but Ethan Bear seems like I'm angry right now, because I think a lot of people are angry about that. Well, it'll be interesting to see, because I'm angry might win this one. Because of the Bear situation. Oh, look at that.
And Alex goes Riley Stillman. And let me read these results, because these are very interesting and very telling. It feels like at the time of this recording, when there is 86 votes on this poll, number. Not a ton right now, because we threw out the poll question like right before we started going here. But the poll question right now, 54% of people saying Riley Stillman, 33% saying Oliver Ekman-Larsson, 13% saying they're angry, and 0% saying Ethan Bear, which means, Chris, that Bruce Boudreau has not voted in this poll today.
That is wild, because
or maybe he has.
When you see it on the computer, it gives you like the point percent, or 32.6, 54.7. So if there was one vote, we would see like 0.1 or 0 point something here.
There's no votes.
There is
for
not.
Ethan Bear.
Out of the 86 people that have voted, not one person thinks Ethan Bear should be out of the lineup. That's wild.
And it's just it just comes back to this conversation we've had of what's the Canucks plan. Like, if you're trying to tank, even if you're trying to tank and look to the future and you're trying to figure out who's going to be with you in the future, and you think Ethan Bear is a guy that you'd like to extend, you got to play him. Someone jumped in the chat earlier and said, the YouTube live chat, and said there's no chance for any players to build chemistry together because they get broken up at the first sign of trouble. And Like, I don't even think there was that much trouble between Ethan Bear and Quinn Hughes. And I was talking to Ethan Bear earlier this week about, maybe it was last week, about the pairing with Hughes and, how they're starting to build some chemistry together. And Bear was saying, like, it takes some time to get going and build some chemistry, but, like, I thought we were pretty good defensively. And I asked Bruce the same question, and Bruce said, well, I like the pair sometimes, and other times I don't. So right now, looks like we're about to see Riley Stillman and Kyle Burrows together, and it's just a confusing decision, I think.
Yeah. Kevin
I
in the
don't think
chat.
there's much more to say.
Kevin in the chat says, if Boudreau thinks Bear is our 7th best defenseman, he is absolutely losing it. And Vishav asking, is he benched tonight? Yeah, he was one of the players that was out there skating late, being rinsed, I believe they call it. Him and Studnicka were the two out there with Colin Delia, who, by the way, Colin Delia played last night. I think I mentioned that. We'll get to the Abbotsford stuff
A couple
in a little
times.
bit. But I'm with the people here with Riley Stillman as well. Like, you can play, I wouldn't mind even seeing a third pairing of Kyle Burrows and Ethan Bear. Like, put Burrows on the left side. Burrows never worries me at all moving to his other side. Like, never at all. And it'll be interesting to see what happens with defense pairings moving forward, because Travis Dermott played that full game on Tuesday night. No worries about him with the recovery. He played in the game. Obviously didn't play last night, and some people were like, oh, like, is this a big step back? It's like, no, this is a conditioning stint for Travis Dermott. He doesn't need to play back-to-backs. But maybe he will kind of down the road here. I think he might, get a little bit of time. I believe it's something like 2 weeks on a conditioning stint you have. So he's got some time to play that. I wonder if that changes because of the roster freeze. I got to get in the CBA. But anyways, Dermott seems like he's getting closer to being able to be back in the NHL playing games. The fact that he played all of the game on Tuesday, that's a huge boost for what you're going to see Travis Dermott getting closer to playing for the Vancouver Canucks.
Also, quick little shout out, the merch that I got on.
God, no, don't be shouting this out. What's going on here? I thought I saw that when we came in here.
And for those on the podcast, it is an Oilers Nation internet company jacket and a Nation toque.
Yeah, you know who didn't get one of those? Me.
You totally could have. You got a $250 gift card from the company. This is how I got mine.
Well,
You just chose not to buy it.
no,
because you don't want to
because
support
I
any
don't want
Oilers
to. I'd
stuff.
rather buy 5 Bruce Arias shirts or something else. I'm not.
Or the EP40 shirt, which is available now.
right there, a couple pork rinds. Maybe I
Couple
can use
pork
that there
rinds.
instead.
You go to the nationgear.ca,
No,
you
don't-
find yourself an EP40 shirt.
Yeah, the EP40 shirt too.
And we got a nice shirt coming.
Yeah.
Eventually. Okay, let's get to the Abbotsford party. Colin Delia called back up. He's going to serve as the backup tonight. Could start tomorrow in Edmonton, although Bruce is definitely not closed off the idea of Spencer Martin starting back-to-back games. So we'll see, because he said...
Delia got a workout too. 34 shots last night, by the way.
Yeah, and Bruce said, hey, we're a desperate team right now, and we need to do what it takes to win. Although he did walk that back and said maybe desperate's not the right word. It probably is the right word, to be honest. And like JT Miller talked about yesterday, how it feels like the Canucks are playing in Game 7s every day. If this is how the Canucks play in Game 7s, I don't want to see this team in the playoffs.
Geez. Yeah, no, that'd be...
That's a little tongue-in-cheek.
You don't want that kind of letdown. Abbotsford, let's get to it. 6-3 win last night. You mentioned it. Colin Delia was in net. He stopped 22. No, he didn't. They got the stats wrong on the bottom there. No, he didn't. He stopped 31 of 34. What are they talking about on this stats? Somebody's got to figure this out. That's probably C-Law's numbers from last time.
It actually is. Those are C-Law's numbers. He made 22 on 24.
Yep, job opening in Abbotsford after this.
Delia made 32 on 34.
31.
Yes, on 30.
Yeah, you didn't have your calculator there. You and Frank can't do 34
Oh, whatever.
34 minus 3.
Also, I got to apologize to your Nana. She was not pleased.
Yeah, you better.
She was not pleased yesterday's show. How I was talking about how neither of us are very smart. She was not very pleased that I insinuated that her grandson was not very smart.
Yeah.
You are smart. Sorry, Nana.
You've been taking some heat, actually, from my family members.
Your family members?
She's not the only one that's reached out in the past week about you being mean to me. So, just so you know.
They should hear what you're like when the cameras are off.
Yeah, even nicer. But, all right, let's
Apologies
chat about,
to the Faber family.
Yeah. And the extended family, too. They're the ones that are mad at you. Anyways. All right.
I'll meet all of them at your wedding. That'll be fun.
Yeah,
I'll get booed when I come down as a groomsman.
Yeah, be careful with who you talk to on that day. Stick with the groomsmen. All right, the Abbotsford game last night, 6-3, couple empty netters late now, and I felt this was the biggest stat padding I've ever seen in my life, where Linus Karlsson has no points throughout the game, then assists on an empty netter, and then scores an empty netter. Like, late in the game. So 2 quick points on empty netters for Linus Karlsson. Vasily Podkolzin had a pair of points on the night as well. So we've kind of talked about him not being able to produce a ton of offense right now in the AHL. He really did last night. Let's actually pull one up here. Let's watch the Podkolzin assist from last night, where this is the type of thing you gotta love seeing. So he flies down the right wing, is able to beat a player with his speed, also a little bit of strength there, kind of get the body off of him, then makes a great pass across to Phil DiGiuseppe, who buries it into the back of the net. This is the type of thing that you like to see with the confidence of Podkolzin. Like these are the things that he did when he was playing in junior hockey that he was really good with. He did this in the playoffs for Scott. These are the type of plays where he combines his speed with his strength and his playmaking to set up these great scoring chances. And he just absolutely burned this player in the AHL. And I love that. Just like the old Todd Bertuzzi stiff arm to get the stick off you, but utilize the speed and use it. And then he makes a great pass across to Phil Giuseppe, who scores on that one. So nice little play there from Vasily Podkolzin last night. And like I said, he picked up a pair of points, a pair of assists last night for Podkolzin. So that was great to see. The other thing I wanted to bring up, I hope you saw this last night, Quads. Did you see Nils Höglander getting into it last night? He was fired up as well. He was playing physical from the start of this game. And I just wanted to show a little bit of him roughing it up. And the player he's roughing it up with here, Jeff Vael, this dude fought Zdeno Chara this year. Like in the past calendar year, he fought Zdeno Chara. And Nils Höglander's throwing it around with him, giving it to him. Couple shots to the face. He's being held back.
Nils got a punch in there.
Yeah, but he's screaming at him right here. I love it. I love this. I haven't seen. Have you ever seen this in the NHL from Nils Höglander?
What's he gonna do? Tie his shoes? What's he gonna do?
Hey, come on!
Shut up, Alex.
He's feistier than you think, Alex.
Look at him yelling.
Yeah, Alex, he's yelling.
Yeah, the linesman right there. He's real tough with the linesman right there.
If we watch this, he gets absolutely popped by Vael. It's about right here on the YouTube if you're watching. Oh, just that's connection.
We're
right
gonna. I'm ordering a clip of this for the Canucks Army YouTube channel, so this will be up there as well. Also, almost at 300 subscribers.
Oh yeah, head
over on
to
the Canucks Army YouTube channel. So go subscribe.
It wasn't just that with Höglander though. Like I really liked a lot of what he was doing last night physically, with like forechecking, playing defensively. He just looked good last night. I got another one that I want to pull up here. Just a little hit from Höglander here. As he goes to tie the shoes of that Barracuda player, as Alex would say. But nice little hit. Höglander. Listen, yeah, he's short, but he's sturdy, okay? Got big legs on him. Höglander does.
Okay.
He does. He's got big legs. I think he's got the thickest legs on the team.
Okay.
He showed that AHLer what was up with that hit right there.
Yeah, he did. He pushed him into the boards real hard.
Man, Alex is in a bad mood today.
Yeah, I know. Alex wants Fridays off with you. That's what he wants.
Okay. I guess Betway wrap up, and then maybe actually, you know what? We got time. We're gonna crank out a Patreon after this, folks, of Christmas stuff, and we'll get that out.
I had an extra hockey thing for you.
Let's hear it.
Okay. Here's a question, and I'd like people to answer this in the chat as well. I never get this. We have a little bit of extra time here today. It's not really a game that we're wrapping up.
We might do
Here's
a
a
Patreon. Let's see
discussion.
how long
I want to
it
get
takes.
Alex's opinion on this too. So Alex, listen closely. Don't be putting McDonald's behind me right now. I need you to listen. Would you rather be down a man 10 minutes into the game, and it will be a random player, anybody random, like you don't know who it was. There was a roll of the dice and you lose a player 10 minutes into the game, you lose that player, or start the game down 1-0.
If you're the Canucks,
Yeah.
start the game down 1-0.
Well, just like a hockey team. It doesn't have to be the Canucks.
I think 1-0 if you're the Canucks, because you're too scared to lose Elias
Here's
Pettersson.
the thing though. Yeah, it could
Quinn
be
Hughes.
like it could be one of your top players. It could be a fourth line player. It could be one of your defensemen where you have to go down to 5 defensemen. And this is in the first 10 minutes of the game. So you got 50 minutes left in the game.
I'm not taking those chances.
Okay. Alex, what do you
lose him
think?
for just that game? Like just the rest of that
You
game?
lose him for that game.
Yeah, okay. That guy could go down, keep the goal, and we'll win this game.
Okay. It's one goal. I think the random player really worries me, especially if it's your top defenseman.
Yeah.
The guy who's eating 25 minutes a night. And listen, that's a 1 in 20, or what is it, 1 in 18 chance? Listen, I like those odds, but I'm also a gambler, so I don't.
And with that, let's get to the Betway wrap.
No, I think that I would rather.
Oh, sorry, I thought you gave your answer. My bad.
I think I'd rather start the game down 1-0 as well.
Yeah, I think that's.
But Alex,
the right
you said
answer.
the player. You take the player.
Yeah, sure. Like next man up. These are professional hockey players. A lot of the time, when an injury happens, a player comes out of nowhere, fills that role, does very well, and next thing you know, you got more depth out of that injury. Injuries a lot of the time for a lot of, especially younger teams, are a good thing.
Alex hasn't watched the Canucks enough. Next man up. Yeah, not really.
Yeah. Who?
Yeah, who?
No, well, Alex watches the Senators too.
That's true.
I've watched the Canucks enough to know you can't go down 1 goal early.
That's fair.
Yeah. It should have been, what would you rather do? Lose a player or be up 2-0 early in the game? That would have been a tougher one to
Yeah, I'd
battle
say
through.
then at that point you want to lose a player.
Before we get to Betway, Quads, this is your last show before Christmas.
Very excited.
Yeah, you must be pretty excited. Getting the chance to see the family, all that kind of stuff. Christmas dinner, cheese balls probably rolling all around the house.
We'll see.
We'll see about that. But what are you most excited for with Christmas here? We'll get because I got Harmon in tomorrow, by the way.
Honestly, probably seeing my grandpa. It's
Mhm.
always nice when everybody gets to go there. It's hard. It's hard for us all to get there during the regular year, but it'll be nice. We're all getting there. Have a nice big dinner.
I miss no. I haven't seen him in a hot minute.
Yeah. Now
I did see him like what in the last month. I've seen him.
Oh yeah. You came and visited him. He was very stoked about that. I don't think I'm welcome to go visit your Nana after yesterday.
I'd be careful.
Yeah, no, that's probably what I'm most excited for is just family time. How about you?
Yeah, same here. I'm pretty excited to open up some gifts and stuff like that. I also really love Christmas brunch. I don't know if this is like a thing in your family, but it's a big thing in ours where like the dinner is obviously one thing, but we only really have 2 meals on Christmas Day with our family. It's like really big brunch with crepes, and bacon, sausage, all that stuff. So I'm excited for that. I like a good brunch, and then you just kind of sit around all afternoon waiting for dinner to come by, and then you crush a turkey and sleep at 8 o'clock. Love that. It's a great day. I love when the build up to Christmas. If I'm being honest, I'm not a huge fan. Like I don't really like the cold. I don't like buying gifts. I don't like going and seeing lights. I do it because my fiance likes it.
You don't like seeing lights?
I like seeing the happiness in my fiance's face as she's watching this from the other room and
so
just brought me a hot dog.
You didn't go? Like you wouldn't go by yourself?
If I was by myself, hell no.
Like if I asked you, like, hey man, let's go look at some lights.
If you asked, it would be even a bigger no.
See, I hope your family's listening to this. The disrespect.
Yeah, because they're all agreeing with what I'm saying after the things that you said over the last week. No, I wouldn't go. I'd just.
Okay, now hear me out.
The lights aren't the things that get me. I
like
hot chocolate. I do enjoy that.
Yeah,
hot chocolate in a cold weather day. It's hard to beat that.
You got to go to Lafarge Lake in Coquitlam. Shout out Coquitlam.
Oh, I think I saw this. It's like a lit up walkway. Yeah,
it's free. There's a hot chocolate. Rocky Point Ice Cream has a shop there.
By the way, they had a hot chocolate setup at the Canucks game the other night. I hope they have it again tonight.
How much was it? $9.99?
No, free.
Oh, for media. Sorry, I thought you meant for fans.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Betway wrap up. Let's go. We got time for a Patreon. We never have time for this.
Nah, we're not doing it. Do the Patreon after.
Why?
I don't want to because we can't do a 10-minute Patreon. I want a 30-minute Patreon. The people.
Okay. Well, we're gonna get one out when I get home. We'll do one tonight. Yeah. We'll make sure we don't
really. Yeah, we normally don't have a shorter episode. We're gonna cut it down though.
Yeah. Patreon.com/Canucks Convo. $5 and $10 tiers gets you all the bonus content. We're gonna do one tonight. Talk about our Christmas and everything.
Either that, or we could debate Bo Horvat getting traded for 10 minutes.
Nope, we're not doing this again. We'll be back after Christmas.
Shorter show.
Oh, Harmon will be with you tomorrow. You guys can break
you
it
can't
down.
wait to get out of here.
Yeah, I'm excited.
All right,
Betway
wrap up, Alex.
Let's go.
Betway. Let's do this. Canucks game tonight. So we got the Betway bets. Listen, I put these bets out here, right? And what happens? I get yelled at. They say, you can't do the plus 1700s. You can't do the plus 1700s. This one's going to hit, okay? I don't say that I'm sometimes pretty confident or fake confident in my bets. I am confident tonight. Plus 1700 bet. The Kraken to win, over 6.5 total goals in the game, and a goal from Jared McCann, who is, by the way, second in the NHL at even strength goals, and JT Miller to score, who hasn't scored in 10 games. So he breaks a streak. Jared McCann's going to score against his former team. You're going to see a bunch of goals in the game, and the Kraken are going to win. Plus 1,700. That's going to change from when Betway sees this. That's going to drop down to like minus 40 or minus 140. And then the other bet I want, just like, simple one. Kraken to win and over 5.5 total goals. You get that at plus 230 as well. Some pretty good bets if you bet on the Kraken to win tonight. It's kind of interesting because like they just whooped the two teams that whooped the Canucks.
19 plus. Betway. All right, we'll wrap it up there.
Before we go out here, we got to do the Wigs for Kids too.
Oh, we're doing
we
that
gotta
today?
talk about that today. Yeah, because
All right,
we haven't done.
I didn't know that was coming today.
No, I forgot. We got to mention that today. Our buddy Joey Pitt out there with the Surrey Eagles.
Yeah.
they're partnered up with the Wigs for
Happy to
Kids.
do it. Happy to do it.
Let's talk about it.
Let's
Let 'em know.
talk Wigs for Kids. You heard us talk about it, I'd say like 5 episodes ago. The BCHL Surrey Eagles are proud to be partnered with Wigs for Kids BC and the BC Children's Hospital Foundation. Wigs for Kids BC provides funding to cover the cost of custom-made human hair wigs for children and teens at BC Children's Hospital who have suffered hair loss due to cancer treatment or other serious illnesses. All the donations help families pay for medications and feeding supplies that are essential for treatment but not covered by their medical plan. When a child has a serious illness like this, it's enormous toll on the family, both emotionally and financially. We're seeing what Joey Pitt is doing right now. The Wigs for Kids Foundation makes the families burden a little bit lighter so they can focus more of their time on energy on caring for their sick child. Joey Pitt, our pal, you've seen his hair before, folks.
Look at that.
He's growing a crazy head of hair. Has been for a while now. He's trying to raise $15,000 for the Wigs for Kids Foundation this year, culminating in him shaving his head at the end of the season and donating it to be made into a wig for a lucky kid in the province. So be sure to go check out Wigs for Kids BC. All the links in the description, right?
Yep. In the YouTube
description.
description, we'll have stuff on Twitter as well.
Yeah.
By the way, I heard Joey, he's 2 weeks away from having to tuck his hair into his belt. Is the getting that long?
Wow.
Yeah, 2 weeks away from that, I think.
That's wild.
I wonder how many, like, how long does it take, do you think, for Joey to grow an inch of hair? Because look at that. Can you zoom in on this, Alex? I don't know if you can zoom in on this, but tell you what, I don't think I've ever had hair as good as that in my life. You have the long, my hair goes fluffy, kind of more like Joey's. If I grew it that long, it might go that way, but mine turns into an afro.
Mine goes straight. Use a little head and shoulders.
Yeah.
Gets down to my head and shoulders.
Yeah, look at that.
Yeah.
Holy cow. The wind better watch out. That thing probably stops the wind.
It's a good look.
Good looking.
So check out Wigs for Kids BC. All right.
Yeah.
We'll wrap it up there.
Yeah, it's in the description, by the way, on the YouTube stuff.
Yes.
That's a good spot. And I also saw Wyatt, the stanchion, our guy. He's going to make a donation, I think, as well. But it's if his boy Bongo of the Surrey Eagles, if he doesn't get a hat trick in the game where he's supposed to make a donation, that's when Wyatt's going to play. It would be bad if the player got a hat trick and then Wyatt doesn't have to make the donation.
You called them the Surrey Egos, which as a Coquitlam Express fan,
you like that, eh?
I like that. The Surrey Egos.
I got to take this camera off there. There we go.
In all seriousness, like I said, check out Wigs for Kids BC. Good stuff going on over with the Surrey Eagles.
All right, everybody in the chat wish Quads a Merry Christmas. This is the last show. We got Harmon in tomorrow. Alexa Potak's going to join us as well to chat about the World Juniors, specifically Team Sweden, and some of the other Canucks prospects playing overseas. Lucas Forsell, Philip Johansson. She's got it locked and loaded over there with the Swedish prospects. Excited to have her on the show tomorrow. That'll be brought to you by the great folks at Zephyr Epic, right? Or is it Atlas Goods?
Zephyr
what do you
Epic,
think?
Zephyr Epic, and you're going to have to do all the ad reads tomorrow. It's going to be interesting.
I got them all written out here. I'm good to go.
Attaboy. Okay, Merry Christmas to all of the listeners and the viewers. Appreciate it.
Did we do Betway properly there? Did you do like the whole 19 plus?
Yes.
Yep.
Oh, well, I missed it, so we have to do it here.
No, Alex is looking at line combinations.
Alex flashes it up anyway. 19 plus.
I'm busy doing the audio on the Ottawa show, and it's just.
Yeah, no, fair enough. I mean, they had Frank Saravalli on. I get it. They're more important than us.
Alex prioritizing. Okay. Merry Christmas also to Alex.
No, he's just looking out for us.
Of course. Merry Christmas to all the listeners. Thanks for watching, folks. We'll so many people in the chat say Merry Christmas, Quads. Okay, we'll wrap it up there. For my co-host Chris Faber and our technical producer Alex Lard, my name's Dave Quadrelli. Thank you so much for listening to another episode of the Canucks Conversation.
Time for a cold hot dog.
Thanks for listening to Canucks Conversation, delivered by DoorDash. Hit the subscribe button to never miss an episode.
How about keep it to a thank you, Jim?